Well, welcome to New It Too, everyone. It's
Welcome,
Jan
welcome.
and Ashley coming to you from the Be So In Oklahoma City. And we are continuing on with some information about Applique. If you'll remember last week, we were working on some Applique that was by some of the die cuts from AccuQuilt, and we had selected the Halloween medley that had the spider, the witch hat, and the ghost on it. Well, I got it finished. Well, I didn't stuff it yet. It is a pillow, but I didn't have any stuffing handy. But look how cute it turned out.
Oh, that's adorable.
Isn't it adorable?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this was a fun one. I just used fabric we had hanging around here. We have regular cotton, some flannel, and we had some corduroy that had some pretty colors, fall colors on it.
Yeah.
But that was using the applique of the die cuts that as I was saying, not a chance I'd go around all those spider legs, but look how easy it was to do it on this. So I don't have it stuffed yet, but isn't it adorable?
It's so cute.
Okay. So continuing on, we decided this week we wanted to show you a little bit more about Applique. And in this case, we're going to talk about Applique that you can do in IQ Designer. And we're also going to be talking about Applique you can do by building it in Floriani software. And Kaylin's going to do that part of it. So I'll start with my part and then we'll switch over to Kaylin here pretty soon.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we're on the Radiance. And let me get my glasses on so I can see what's going on here. We're going to go into IQ Designer. And as you see here, I have selected a 5x7 area. If you're not sure how to do that, if you just touch your settings key and then you can pick your frame size, and it has all the different ones, but I want to use a 5x7 hoop, and that way I will know if I am within my area.
Got it.
Okay. I'm going to use some of the built-in shapes. Now you can bring in shapes by scanning them or sending them with the app. All sorts of different ways you can do this, but I'm going to use a built-in shape. And I'm going to pick a star. Okay. And we're going to do this the easy peasy, super fun way to do this. Now you can see right now my star is too big for my hoop. So I need to resize it. So I'll touch the resize button and I'm just going to shrink it down incrementally and proportionally. And I'm going to go a little bit. So it fits inside my 5x7 hoop.
Got it.
Okay. Now that's all I'm adding on to this. I am going to make this a little bit different way than we've maybe shown in the past, because what I could do is make one where it's the placement stitch, the cut stitch, and a satin stitch all the way around it. But this time I'm going to show you a little bit different way of doing it. And I kind of discovered this one when we were working on a Halloween quilt, and we already had some shapes that were printed. I just needed to make an applique out of it. So that's kind of where this is coming from.
Got it.
So we have this on here and we're going to use our line property. And on line property, you have all these options, but I'm focusing on this one. This is a running stitch right here. And I'm going to change the color. It defaults to black, but I want to make sure I know I touched it, and I'm just going to push green here. And now I'm going to say, a pencil can draw, but a bucket tells the whole line what to do. So I'm going to touch my bucket and then I'm going to touch my star. And you see it turned green. So now I'm going to hit next. And it's thinking about it. There it is. It knows it's a running stitch. I don't really need to do anything else. This is just so I can tack down what I'm doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm going to hit set. And it's going to say it's going to become an embroidery pattern. I don't really need to save this. It's a star that's built in. It's not some shape I brought in. So I'm not going to save it into the memory. I'm just going to say okay. And now it's saved over here in embroidery. See where it says embroidery? And the screen is now kind of purpley blue back there. So we know we're not in IQ anymore.
Perfect.
I already have my fabric hooped up. And I picked a Christmassy fabric this time. And I'll get my hoop on here. That all straightened out nice and neat. Also gonna get my thread pulled through all the way. Now, here's where I'm doing it a little bit different than we've shown you in the past, where we had built a running stitch, a tack stitch, a placement stitch, a satin stitch, where we built all the layers of it. We're gonna go up here into edit. And do you see this one right here? This is the patch button. And when I touch patch, it kind of to me looks like a shield with a crown on it. If feel like I'm going on a cruise ship or something.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to touch that one. And do you see how it put that around it? Now I can change the distance it is from that, and I'm going to make it just be a little bit closer like that. So we're 0.2 of an inch away. All right. How easy was that?
Easy peasy.
Can I show you how easy it is to sew it?
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it be a fluffy star, a padded star.
Got it,
Think like, what do you call it? Trapunto. Without having to go back from the backside and shove fabric into it or shove batting into it. So we're going to hit embroidery. And I know it's right in the center, so I don't have to guess where it's going to stitch it. And I've got the different things. So this is my placement stitch, and I'm just going to put my batting right in the middle of it.
Okay.
If you wanted to sew the stitch first so that you knew right where it was going to go, but I promise you it's in the middle of this hoop.
Yeah.
And we're going to stitch out the star. So far, so good? And it does a double stitch, which I like because I'm going to trim my batting to that line. And sometimes if it's a single line, it can kind of pull away from it. So
yeah, it can.
Okay. I'm going to take it off of the machine. And we're going to trim this. You ready? I know these aren't applique scissors, but they can be used like applique scissors. I really like them. Can you see what I'm doing without getting my hands in your way?
If I can keep my hands out of the way of the camera, then yeah.
Not too bad once I get up to it.
Yeah.
So get that out of the way and rotate it. Now I know it might feel a little bit dark over here. We had to turn off some of the lights so you didn't have so much glare on the screen.
Yeah. You know, I love the bright lighting that we have. But sometimes those lights make it a little difficult to see the screen.
Well, and we can't turn off the light from the windows.
Yeah. You get the windows either way, sorry.
Again, so far so good. Nothing too complicated here.
Nope. So far, I think I can manage it.
I bet you can. I know my hands are in the way. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I'm able to see over you.
I have my limits. I can't not use my hands and try to cut this at the same time.
Right.
Good, but it would be a hot mess.
If somebody can figure out how to cut without their hands, I'd be impressed.
Well, that's true. Even with an AccuQuilt, you have to have your hands to lay it all down and push it through there. Now remember, when we did this, it's going to say right here that it's going around this. So this is bigger than this part. So it's puffed up in the middle. So I'm going to put this back on here. And it's going to do applique. You ready? I'm going to take my fabric.
Whoops, I keep putting my hands in the way of the camera.
And it's right in the middle, so it's not going to be too hard, but I am going to try it. Plaid, you kind of want to fussy position it because you don't want it to be like a weird angle of plaid. And so I'm trying to aim my plaid in a way that it's straight up on points. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And we're going to go ahead and stitch that part. Now, this one, actually, that was a placement stitch, and I knew where it was going to go, so I didn't place my stitch down.
There you go.
It's going to stitch back over the top of it again, and I wanted to have that double stitch. But if I had wanted the placement stitch so I knew where my fabric was going to go, in case I was like off on some corner of something. And then guess what we're going to do after this?
Trim it again.
Trim it. And it's actually easier to trim fabric than it is to trim batting. And I think that's some of the fluffiest batting I've ever had to trim. Okay, so we're going to take it off one more time. Now, you cannot change on this particular patch thing. It's a satin stitch. There is no change it to a buttonhole or something like that. It's going to be what it's going to be. But I like the look of a good satin stitch.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to rotate. But this is a good way you can add things to clothing. Like if you wanted to use some of the letters, you can do the outside shape of a letter, take it back over to IQ Designer as a shape. And on the Radiance and on a Solaris with, I think it has to have the third upgrade. I can't remember now. It can do the inside of a letter too. So if you had a letter that had a hole in the middle of it, you could pick that up and make a lovely applique out of that too. So can you see how it's kind of fluffy in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put this back on. I just have some tearaway stabilizer under here. Thank you for putting my latch down.
If I can find it. There we go.
And now we're just to the satin stitch.
Okay.
And first just going to do an underlay of a zigzag all the way around it.
Kind of hold everything down.
Right, holds that edge down. I mean, you still want to trim it relatively close to it, but you don't want to leave like, you know, a quarter of an inch out there because it will end up folding that over and you'll get some of the little pokies of the fabric will come through the thread.
Yeah.
And this way it'll tack all that down real nice. And then once we get around with the zigzag, it starts doing the satin stitch. So I'm going to let it do a little bit of the satin stitch and then we'll come back to you in just a moment. So hold on tight. Here we go with the satin stitch. See how it slowed itself down there? All right, we'll be right back. So as you can see, it's almost gone all the way around the star. I think it looks pretty darn cute.
It is.
I mean, you know, fabric is a great way to wrap Christmas presents.
Ooh, yeah.
And you can do, you know, you could do someone's name, or if you wanted to embroider someone's name on this piece of fabric that you did on there so that it's kind of self-labeled. All sorts of great ways you can do it. Let me take it off so you can see it better. And we could have definitely done that. You know, you could go ahead and applique a name on top of it. Since it's puffy, it would kind of puff down in there.
Oh yeah, I'd give it a little bit of texture.
But isn't it adorable?
That is really cute.
I mean, that's how easy it is to make an applique
in IQ.
Yeah, I mean, all I did was just go find a shape. And if I didn't have the shape, I can just import a shape. So I love it. Can we run over and show them what we did over here on the Halloween house quilt?
Yes.
So it's the same concept that we just used with this star. And this is what I was talking about. The bat in here was a print on the fabric. And I just scanned it in so it knew what the shape, I drew around it. Actually, I took a piece of paper and the wafer board and drew the shape. And then I imported that shape into IQ on the bats. And then I just did the same thing I showed you so that I could stitch my bats, and they're little puffy bats on our quilt. Isn't it fun?
Cute, yes.
Super fun. So, you know, just things don't have to be hard to be adorable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's go show you how to do it on IQ. No, not on IQ. We just showed you IQ. Let's show you how to do it on Floriani, and Kaylin's going to help you out with that one.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're over here now with our Floriani Total Control software, FTCU. And what I have is anytime I open the program, it's going to start with the My Floriani Today window. Now, if you're not connected to the internet, this will be blank, but all of this will still appear. And so this is just where I can select if I want to create a new design or open an existing design. So for today, we're going to start from scratch. And so I'm just going to come over here and click Create a New Design. And what it's going to do is it's going to load my base, just kind of workspace. Which is gridded out in 1-inch segments because that's what I've set it to, with a large grid lines of every 5 inches. Again, that's what I set it to. It's infinitely changeable for whatever you might want for you.
Okay.
But when it comes to doing an applique, of course, just like anything else, there's a lot of different ways to do it even within the software itself. You can do what Jan did on the IQ and build multiple shapes and then understand what each of them is going to do, multiple of the same shape. But I have found that it's far easier to do it in here if you just use the Applique button. Okay, but you do still need a shape. And so what I can do here is we do have over here a lot of different kind of preset libraries of things like shapes. Now, there's also backdrops and things like that, buttonholes that I certainly don't need for this. But if I just come here to symbol and I come down here, I can see my scroll list of different items that I can utilize. Or if I come over here to shape, it's going to open my custom shape library. These are pre-built in Floriani. I believe there is a way to add to these, but we'll save that for another time. Suffice it to say for now that I just want to pick whatever it is that I want to do an applique of. So we'll just do this star here. What it'll do is it'll automatically load that shape as artwork. So similar to IQ Designer, where when you're in that initial screen where you're editing and designing, you're not already telling it to be stitches, it's just artwork, right? It's just like a JPEG. That's what's happening here. So if I were to take this and save it, even as a PES onto a flash drive and bring it over to my machine, it would be blank, it would be empty, there'd be nothing. If you look up here, what you'll see, and I don't know if you can read it, but it tells me the name of my design. Of course, I haven't saved it yet, so it just says design 1. But then it shows me my stitch count, my color, number of colors, my width and my height. Okay, so for stitches, I've got 0. Colors, I do have 1, but width and height are also 0. So it's not reading this as a design file yet. It's not stitches yet.
Got it.
But all I need to do here to turn this into an applique, realistically, is come down here to, some people call them the one-click wonders, which, yeah, I'm with you. I like that. If you come to this kind of far end here, you have some of the ones that are a little bit fancier. On this end here, I have, turn it into a run stitch, turn it into a satin stitch, turn it into a fill stitch, some of the basic things you need with more complicated versions within them. But down here is where it gets more fun, right? If you hover over these icons, just like on the Radiance now, they will show you what they're for. This one would make it embossing. This one will make it applique. This one will do a stipple in that shape. This one will turn it into a cross stitch, so on and so forth. So what we want though is just applique. So all I do is click it, give it a moment, and it's auto-converted it to applique. Now at the moment it looks like it changed the color. It actually didn't. Once something is stitches, it gets selected when it's clicked on, and you set the color that it turns when it is selected.
Got it.
I like to set mine to a kind of a bright, outlandish color that I'm not likely to use in a design, so that I can easily tell what I have selected.
That makes sense.
If I set my select color to like, a nice green or black or something, I would never know when I have it selected.
That might be part of your design.
Right. And so for me, I don't really do bright colors all that much. And so a bright blue suits, right? But I can always go here into my settings and I can change that if I want a different color. So if I click away from it, you'll see it is still yellow. I can change that easily. Maybe I don't want a yellow star by just clicking it, selecting it over here, either way, and coming down here to my color palette, which is editable itself if you want to select different colors. But if I scroll left and right with these double arrow keys down here on either side of it, it'll take me through all the different colors in this palette. It defaults to just Floriani polyester and embroidery thread colors. And I click on it and with a, I see. And tell it which one I want it to be.
There you go.
And it'll change the color. Now, the reason it actually prompted me with a question, usually if I just click on this, it will just change to that color. But if you noticed, it actually popped up here with color 1, color 2, color 3. So the reason for that is if you come over here, what you'll find is when we hit the applique button, it didn't just turn it into this satin stitch. It actually generated the 3 steps that we need for applique.
Got it.
And I can see that by this tiny little plus sign here. If you click it, that will expand out all the pieces of this step. It's telling me that it's got an applique in there. I could add a word or anything like that. As long as it's the same color, it'll stay in the same kind of little unit. But I can expand it out again. And now I can see here, and let me make this a little bit bigger for you guys. If I make this, you gotta hover over it just right. All right, there we go. Okay, so I can see it generated my 3 colors here. So the reason it's saying Indian orange here, which is just the Floriani polyester color it assigned, and it doesn't look like orange here or here, it's because the first step, which is my placement stitch, is in that orange color. And then it's telling me it's input a stop. And of course it's, proceed before, you need to stop before proceeding. You need to place the fabric where it goes. Then it's going to do my tack down stitch, which is going to be the green color here. Of course, it's got another stop before proceeding. Cut the excess, right? Trim your excess. So this is for shapes that are not pre-cut, right?
Got it.
And then it will do my final color here, which is this red color that I have going around. So when I come over here, I select this and I say, okay, I actually want this to be pink. It needs to know, do I want it to be color 1, color 2, or color 3, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't care what these 2 colors are on here. I only am worried about color 3, because the reality is, part of what it's doing by separating these out is keeping them as separate steps. One thing that will kind of hang up, especially new embroiderers, is they will get to an applique and they will see maybe 3 different colors like this, and they'll worry that they need to put yellow in their machine for this step, and then green thread in their machine for this step, and then the pink. We are smarter than the machines. They don't actually know what thread you have on there. Maybe one day, I guess, but not today. And so what I would do if I were stitching out this star and I wanted it to be this pink color is I would load my pink thread at the very beginning for the very first step, and then I would leave it for all 3 steps. There's a couple reasons I do that. It genuinely does not matter what thread is under there.
It gets covered up.
It gets covered up because this is a satin stitch style applique. Of course, you can change that to a raw edge and then it would matter. But also, I want to reduce the number of times I need to rethread the machine. That's one of the pain points, the reason multi-needles exist at all, really. So I can personally reduce the thread changes by saying, I know it's calling for different colors, but it's all going to be this pink color. I can make sure it matches my fabric, yada, yada. Now, one thing I will say that I used to do when I was less trusting of my programming is I would actually split this apart manually because that made me feel better about the idea that it was going to stop between the steps.
Got it.
Now, you don't actually need to do that. I could now save this as a PES. It would be just fine. When I put it on my machine, it'll be the 3 steps.
Beautiful.
But if you do want to alter them in any way between the points, you do have the option to break this apart. So I come over here to my applique. I'm gonna do a right click, and then down here I have break up applique.
Okay.
A lot of options for editing hide in a right click in Floriani.
Got it.
Not hide, I suppose. And now you can see here it completely changed my sequence view. It actually changed back the color again, which is fine. I can always change it again. But now I've actually got 3 separate items here, and if I expand these out,
got your run stitch, and your satin stitch.
And yeah.
Got it.
And these are no longer expandable on their own because that is it. That is the whole item. Now, this is useful because now I can come in here. Maybe I don't want it to be a steel stitch, which is just a column satin stitch. Maybe I want it to be a buttonhole stitch or some other type of decorative stitch.
Okay.
I can now do that. The other thing on this is now if I want to change this color, it's going to be just that simpler one-click version that I referenced before where it's like, okay, I do want this pink. I click it once. Because it's the only thing now in this step, it's not a compacted item.
Yeah.
It's just going to instantly change it.
Perfect.
And so when I click away, now it's the pink. And I can meddle with this as much as I want. Maybe I want parts of this to, input decorative stitching inside of here. I wanted to be able to manually add to it. There's all kinds of reasons why you might want the added option of breaking it apart so that you can manually do more with some of the things. But quite frankly, a lot of the times, all you need is for it to be a simple applique. There would be no need to do that to it. Again, once I learned to trust my software, I kind of stopped doing that. But just to show you guys what it's going to look like as it sews, we'll just do a quick slow redraw here. And so what you'll see is that it'll run my, and I've got it slowed down because I find when it does the fastest version, I can't keep up with it.
Right.
So this step would be, although this is still faster than it actually sews. This step would be my placement stitch. And then it's going to run my tack down. If you notice here, if you can zoom in there, I don't know if they can tell, the tack down is actually slightly inside of the placement because you want, when you trim your fabric, to know that your edges are going to get caught. The raw edges of your fabric are going to get caught by the satin stitch. So they give you that little bit of kind of cushion by having that stitch be just inside of the placement stitch. I've seen other companies handle it a lot of different ways. Some people just do it as a double run in the same spot. Some companies like OESD do it as a double run, but that is slightly offset of itself, so that it's actually not really a true bean stitch per se, but it's two offset lines. That way, if you trim through that first one, you're fine. You know, they all work just as well. It's just kind of what you get used to, and how you want it to go. I'll speed this up for you guys here. And then it's just going to run my satin stitch. One thing I like about this, because I could have built a shape with the drawing tools as well, but one thing I like about these, first off, there's a ton of these pre-built shapes, but also if you notice, it's actually already to a fine point, and it's already mitered, and I'll show you the full kind of extent of that here in just a second. You can force a point, you can force a miter, but boy is it nice when you don't have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can tell really well if I put it on the 3D mode. You can see these miters in these really fine points, you know, let alone just a 45 or a 90 degree, you know.
Perfect.
So this is super simple way to do it. From here, you just go File, Save or Save As. It's going to automatically do a WAF file, which if you think you're going to still want to edit this later, I would definitely save a copy as a WAF. If you're certain you don't want to do anything else to it, you just switch it to whatever version of embroidery design your machine uses. Of course, here we've got our baby lock, so we're going to do PES. Click Save, and then from there, you're just popping it onto your flash drive, and you're good to go.
Perfect.
Okay, we hope you have learned a little bit about the two of the different ways to do applique today, of course, on our IQ Designer and our Floriani Total Control software. So if you want to learn more about this, of course, you can come to any of our classes, come in and just ask us a question anytime. You can call us, you can call Baby Lock, you can call Floriani. We're all happy to help you learn more about how to do all of this stuff. But of course, next, you guys know what happens on New It Too. We want to give you something free to help you use some of what we just showed you. So a lot of the time when you're doing an applique, of course, Jan showed it being directly onto a quilt. This one could go onto anything, but one of the popular things, of course, is to make them into patches. All kinds of different ways to do that. And to me, the best product to use to then adhere that patch to whatever it is you're applying it to is Press and Bond Ultra. This is a product from Floriani, same people that made that software. And this is something that you apply after something has been stitched. You cut it to the shape of your patch. It's going to be a permanent fuse on both sides of your product, your patch, and then whatever you're placing it on, be it a jacket, a bag, whatever. And I couldn't do patches without this. So anybody who likes, shares, or comments on this video by Thursday at 5 is automatically entered to win a roll of Press and Bond Ultra. This roll retails for $52.99, so that's a really great thing to win. But of course, only one winner. We still want others to have a chance to get something at a better price. So until next New It Too, this will be 20% off in any of our locations. And anybody that wants to get into Floriani Total Control, which I think is a great software, full-bodied digitizing software. I showed you the tiniest piece of what it can do. Anybody who buys that software before the next New It Too at its sale price of $18.99, you are going to get the Floriani Fabulous 5. It is a pack of starter stabilizers, a few designs, and some thread to help get new embroiderers going. And of course, if you're digitizing embroidery designs, you gotta have stabilizer to then stitch them out. Unless all you ever want to do is create digital things, at which point I would recommend you get paint software, not digitizing software. So this is, again, just for this week until the next new at 2. If you purchase Floriani Total Control U at its regular sale price of $18.99, you will get this bundle when you mention the new at 2 bundle.
Perfect.
The two things I really want to tell you about that we have coming this week, next week for one of them, and then in the coming months for the next one is, of course, our annual tech party. That's actually starting today at one of our locations, but we'll be traveling around to our different stores this week and next week with Lisa and her amazing team of people for events. You got to come see all the new stuff coming out in our industry this year. Of course, we have the fabulous new Baby Lock machines, but they never cease to amaze me with all the new product they bring in after our big conventions. So you don't want to miss that. If you want to sign up to come, go to babylock.com, go to besoin.com, search Tech Party. You'll see the dates and times of all of our different locations there. You just sign up. It's an easy $10 fee that you will get back as a $10 kind of voucher to spend in the store. So it's not really $10 that you're spending. It's just kind of a temporary way to hold your place. That way we bring in enough food and prizes and fun for all of you that want to come and see. Tech Party is one of the best times of the year, so don't miss it. The other thing we have coming up in October and November, depending on your location, and I'm going to put this down here for you to focus on, is our embroidery recipe box event with Trevor Conquergood. Trevor Conquergood is our good Canadian friend from Floriani. He will be coming for a day and a half, or he'll be here for 2 days, but you will be with him for a day and a half if you come to this event, where on the first day, which will be the half day, you'll pick AM or PM. You will do a hands-on project with him. He will be digitizing custom patches for each location that will be having this event for you to get to stitch out and to keep the file to make more later that you'll be doing together with him on the Radiance. And then the second day is the full day, so 9 to 5. That is when he'll be doing lecture demo style, where he'll be showing you other ways that you can make patches both on Floriani and on the embroidery machine, and other projects that he loves, like in the hoop bracelets, in the hoop postcards, which are front and back. I've seen his postcards. They do have a traditional postcard back stitched out to them or for them, and all kinds of other things that he likes to do. So he'll be showing you both how to digitize these and how to stitch them out on the machine. It's going to be a lot of fun. We will provide lunch on the second day. And of course, prizes, discounts, all the things that you know and love with our events. This is the first time Trevor's been able to come back to us in store since 2019. You don't want to miss this. He's a ton of fun. He is so knowledgeable about this. He's one of the top digitizers in the world, quite frankly. He was with Walter Floriani, but also his own family has a long tradition of embroidery as a business, as a profession. So definitely don't miss this. It's coming to Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Humble. So get excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check the dates on our website. And we were able to get this price all the way down to $149 for attendees for the entire event. But if you are an Emerald Plus member, the fee is only $104. So this is going to fill up fast. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely go to our website, search Trevor, search embroidery recipe box, or just go to our events page and go to the month that you're looking at. So October is for Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and November is for Humble. So take a look at our classes calendar for that. And we look forward to seeing you all there. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this new too. Hope you learned something, and we